Good evening, ladies and gents, and welcome to the ESL ESEA Pro League Season 2, Week 6. We have some incredible games coming up today, and I can't stress that enough. And I have someone new to be casting with. Mitch, how are you feeling today?
Very good, actually. We had some fantastic games last week as well, and I got to jump on some of those, and tonight will be no different.
Yeah, exactly. There are some pretty heavy hitters coming up, but before we get to that, of course, there is always one thing we have to check in with, and that will be those Vulcan picks, and that'll be done by our beautiful man, Alex, who isn't with us right now, but it's actually pre-recorded, so he's going to be bringing us every bit of information about the games coming up today. So why don't we take away and hear what Alex has to say.
Hey guys, once again, it's time for my picks in the Vulcan.com pre-show. I'm Alex Machine Richardson, if you're unaware of who I am. I'm going into this one. It's going to be an intriguing one, considering just how many big games are happening today. I'm sure those guys are already battering on about how they're getting to see TSM Fnatic tonight. We're going to be seeing so many big games, and I think that's going to be reflected in my picks. So let's just jump straight on into them, and let's have a little look what I want to bring into this one. I mean, we're going to be seeing Fnatic, we're going to be seeing TSM. Everyone is kind of, you know, going on about how much they love TSM at the moment, so I'm probably going to just try and grab myself some affordable TSM members. Device has just been, like, honestly one of the best players in the Pro League so far. I'm just going to trick. Yeah, let's do it. Okay, so let's go on either side of the spectrum. I don't know why Carrigan has been so low on the season point average, but we're going to go ahead and grab him as well. So I reckon I can get away with KGB. Yeah, let's go full TSM, considering that I mean, they are only playing one game today, but so is majority of everyone else. You can see the games up here. So let's go crazy. Let's do that. And then on the other side of things, I do want to kind of see if I can grab myself VP. Taz has been so damn good for me, as has Bialy in the past. So I'll just go for Bialy. And that leaves me about 5 for 4. So we're going to have to go a little lower. And to do that, I'm probably going to have to go for, I mean, I can't go for Get Right, but Exist. Not been the maddest of fraggers recently, but we'll go for that anyway. That's 1200. And we are going to be seeing NaVi's game, NaVi NiP, and I do think that with this kind of double match between the two of them, I would be a bit of an idiot not to grab one of the opponent. Flamey's always been very good to me, and look at this. I mean, you can tell why. Look at that. I mean, why would I not take Flamey? I'm worried about my money now. 2,000 left for this one. And probably going to have to skimp on the next buy. How about Titan? Titan are playing one tonight. Let's see who I want to grab from there. They're playing up against SK, so there could be a chance for people to just go absolutely crazy in frags. And you know what? I reckon they will. Let's do this. Okay, so let's assume that Scream's going to go off on one. I know, 600s, but I can get rid of, let's get rid of one TSM player. And now I can go ahead and grab Taz. And, oh no. There isn't anyone that low. Oh, the plan was coming together so beautifully. I don't want to get rid of... Okay, let's get rid of Exist. Goodbye, NiP. He was the cheapest as well. This is getting hard to balance my accounts. 1,100 for my final player. I can either go Zeus or I can go like Crims. Can I get Crims? Oh my god, I'm a couple of dollars short. No, it's a disaster. We'll go for Pronax then. Okay, 77 left, and that's going to be me. That kind of explains what I've picked up and why. I mean, we went for TSM because TSM are currently in tip-top shape. I've got Device at the top of the spectrum, and we've got Carrigan at the bottom of the spectrum, because so far in terms of average points, which is unusual. I mean, Carrigan, he's been pretty damn impressive for me lately. Of course, not in the same level as Device, who has been at the top of the scoreboard more often than not. For VP, we have Taz, Bialy, and I think those two are kind of just for themselves. Taz and Bialy have literally been the same pick. I've picked them up almost every time VP have been available, just because they're so damn good for your bang for your buck. Bialy's average points was something like 77 in his last game, so worth picking him up. Existence, just so I can have two men from Titan. We've got Scream alongside him, and then Flamey from NaVi and Pronax from Fnatic. Pronax, of course, just an easy grand, a cool G, and I managed to get a Fnatic member in my roster. Hopefully, they'll be able to demonstrate some proficiency up against TSM. This is going to be an interesting one, though, considering how Fnatic have been playing recently. That wraps it up, though, folks, and that concludes the Vulcan.com kind of pick stage. You guys can take part yourselves if you want to as well. You can head over to the website and use the code ESLPRO to double both your deposit and your Vulcan Gold. And if you can't be bothered to type that URL in, no worries. There's a link in the description you can click as well. So while you go and do that, I'll let my crack team of casters carry on, and hope you guys enjoy the games.
Well, it's always good from Alex and his money management seeming to not only affect him in real life, but also into the Vulcan picks there. But he has got some big names. He's been able to pick up Scream and Device, so not a bad little shout there.
If you look at Bialy as well, his points average recently has been super high as opposed to his price. So not too bad there. A cool G, or maybe a few of those being spent by old mate Alex.
Very nicely done. But in case you missed yesterday's games, let's catch you up to speed on what went down in the ESL ESEA Pro League. And it was pretty much the day of Penta, really. It kicked off with another German side. Mousesports taking a little bit of a trashing on Cobble against NiP, which was a little surprising to me, considering Mousesports did have quite the good results on that map prior to yesterday. But after that, Penta really had a tough time.
It's funny because Penta started strong for us as well. When we first started to see them sort of hit the league, it was an upset over NaVi, their first game. It seems like now maybe we're starting to hit a bit more of that equilibrium there. They did have two tough opponents, but only managing 3 rounds against Titan as well. A bit concerning for them.
Yeah, certainly was. The 7 against Fnatic weren't so bad. Certainly a silver lining, but the win regardless did go to the Fnatic boys. And that then affected that overall leaderboard. That's the impressive part here, is how that changed things up. More than anything, it just put Fnatic in first place. Now, TSM are pretty much equal on points, so there's not too much to be writing home about, but TSM still have a match in the bag.
Exactly, so 36 points for both teams, TSM still with 1 to play. We will probably see these guys leapfrog each other a couple of times as they go through. They both qualified, of course, for our finals here, so for them, though, they would love to play against each other. It's always a match that they approach with gusto, and Solomid would love to pip them at the post here.
Exactly that, but outside of that, we did see the 5th and 6th places kind of being secured by the French sides, NaVi and Titan getting up together, but down in the kind of lower depths, let's say, of the Pro League, it is still a little curious. NiP down in 7th, Virtus Pro in 8th. It's not what I expected to see, and something that I don't think we're too unfamiliar with is still SK trailing in last.
Yeah, it's struggling as well, and I don't even know who they are playing tonight. We'll get onto that in a second. I don't even know who they're bringing. Obviously, with Config being a question mark hanging over his head specifically, they've struggled to stabilize and find that roster that's really working for them here. So they have a few chances now, sort of in the last couple of weeks here, but still, it's a grim situation for them.
It is indeed certainly no easy task on their hands tonight either. They'll be facing up against Titan, but that will be the last game of today, and we have 3 games prior that are just incredible. And I can't stress that enough. It's the double heavy hitter to begin with. NiP up against NaVi 2 times back-to-back. We have Inferno and Overpass, Mitch.
And you said that NiP is sort of languishing towards the bottom of the ladder recently. This is their chance. If they, put up some good results in these matches, they might be able to make their way up.
Well, that put them in 4th if they pick up both wins here, but then for NaVi, it put them up in 3rd. So both of these teams have something to play for here today, especially against this opponent. But then there's no point alluding to it. It's the big game that and I'm sure all of you at home have been waiting for, Fnatic against TSM.
Yeah, this might be a good thermometer, as you could say, for Fnatic's sort of resurgence after their loss streak that they sort of suffered. Now they're starting to put some results back together, some against lower tier, some against some of those top tier teams, but it's very important, I guess, for them as well to get a gauge on how they're going towards the finals and, of course, the upcoming major, where I'm sure TSM will be a factor against them.
Oh, it's going to be huge. There's so much on the line for those 2 teams going head-to-head, and on Mirage of all things as well. It's going to be a truly beautiful display, and as you kind of, let's say, hinted towards, we'll break that down a little later, but kind of pulling it back towards those first 2 games, I think all of you NiP fans are going to be in for a treat. Same for NaVi out there, and it's a real questionable map pool for both of them. NiP really not showing much on Overpass, whereas NaVi have certainly made a little bit of a home map of that one.
Yeah, exactly right. NiP have played Overpass once in the last 3 months, and NaVi 18 times, of which 11 of those were victories for them. So we've seen a lot more from NaVi on this one, and again, question mark over NiP on this map.
Yeah, and head-to-head, these 2, well, it's a really weird one to read in towards. Overall, NaVi have won out against NiP more often than not. However, in the last 2 games, it's been NiP's victory, so I guess that kind of hot streak is really coming to the forefront.
The head-to-head will be interesting. I mean, we'll see tonight those 2 games back-to-back as well. Normally we're going to see best-of-ones from a lot of these teams in isolated circumstances. I want to see how these 2 adjust to each other over those two maps, but very, very hard to sort of pick a front runner in this matchup.
I think that's a big thing. Who do we see today? Is it going to be the NiP who can compete with the very best, or the ones that shy away a little towards the end and struggle closing out some of those games? We did see in the last couple of games from NiP within the Pro League at least that GetRight and Alu actually finding some real form, and I think it was on Cobble if I'm not mistaken, they truly went off on a bit of a tear. But I think we can break down the map pool a little more here, and we're starting off on one that I think is going to be a little hit and miss. I'm not too sure what to expect. We are, of course, ready and waiting for them to get underway. NiP just waiting on this farm 2 players. But to kind of talk you through it, on this map thus far, they've got a fairly equal stat overall as to how they've been playing recently. 48 games played, each in 2015. NiP winning a couple more, but, you know, NaVi still on 27 wins out of those 48 games, so certainly not a bad record.
That's right, and don't forget as well, this was the map that NiP actually halted TSM's winning streak on in the Fragmite Masters. So this is when that 24-0, whatever it was, came to that screeching halt. The last 4 out of 5 games on Inferno for NiP have been victories as well. TSM, obviously, that one I just mentioned. Hellraisers and Fnatic being their foes.
Yeah, and it's interesting to see, because outside of that, the one thing that always struck me was how well NiP started playing once they introduced those double orbs. Of course, Forest and Alu picking those up. However, on this map, you don't see it so often outside of NiP, and Alu always finding some form on the T side with the AWP as well, something a hell of a lot of standardized AWPers do struggle with. But then again, they've got Guardian to face, arguably one of the best AWPers currently, so it's going to be a tough match on that front.
And the thing is, the last time we saw, in the Pro League at least, NaVi play on this map, it was against Dignitas, where they lost in overtime, and Guardian was a factor there, not necessarily in a positive way. He really struggled to make an impact across the map. He was essentially shut down in a multitude of ways, and it was what allowed Dignitas to get over the line in that one.
So a lot coming into this, and there's a lot to be said about both of them. We are just waiting on the warm-up to be concluded, but that does give you guys a chance at home to check out the Score Esports, have a little look at this head-to-head. If you fancy maybe then putting that towards your Vulcan picks, get that done right about now. Get yourself a bit of a chance. Maybe Alex there did help you out. But what's your prediction on this one? I'm kind of curious because, you know, I'd almost want to kind of talk about it like a best of 3, but it is 2 best of 1s. They're very separate here. So let's kind of bring it just to this map. Who do you think's got this one? Statistically,
in recent times, this is Navi's second best map. However, I feel that NiP right now looking a little bit stronger here as well. The game against, of course, TSM was really, really good. They haven't played Navi on Inferno since May of this year. So looking back on these past results, it's super hard to sort of make a pick. I, though, feel that NiP are in form a little bit more on this right now. If I look back to last week and the results we saw there, definitely a better example from the Swedes here. My money on them.
See, and I feel I'm with you in that. And then let's include the factor of the next map, which is going to be Overpass between these two, which is a great map for Navi and a very quiet one for NiP. So if NiP want to do well here against this opponent back-to-back, I think they have to start extraordinarily well. And I can imagine they'll be aware of that. I had a quick chat with Freiburg before this, just discussing how many times they'd played this map and how frequently they'd kind of avoided it as such. And he just said, you know, we don't like playing it that much, but, you know, we have had some results. I think Hellraisers was one of the more recent ones they had to play against. But, you know, it's not been exactly the most favored map for them, as we do get stuck in the smoke.
Gotta love that one there. So, I mean, yeah, gonna be an interesting one here as well. I mean, NiP coming off a win here as well. Navi, you know, hard to really put your finger on right now as well. They're pulling some good results, but I mean, obviously dropping games last week to sort of Titan, actually getting kind of wrecked on Overpass here. It wasn't their best performance, especially on the CT side. A little bit average, so it's very, very hard to say. I mean, Navi have only won one of their last 5 matches on Inferno as well, so maybe some issues there for them as well. Confidence maybe not sky high, but still, you know, historically speaking, this has been one where they're fairly confident on. We're going to be jumping in to the knife round on this one, ladies and gentlemen. It's Navi versus NiP to kick things off.
Exactly that. And Sidestart is going to be curious here. GetRight, one of the advocates for starting out on the T side on occasion. I wonder if he'll face it or fancy it today, because it looks as though they are in for the chance of picking their side. And Flamey, a superstar within his own right, not going to have much done. And NiP will claim the knife round. So I'm interested to see where they pick on this, because Alu has had some real prevalence on the T side. But no, they're going to be starting on the CT. T side will be Navi, and we're going to be getting ourselves underway nice and quick here. And let's see how NiP fare. Will they hold true to trend and keep this presence up on this map, or Navi find that form that can be ever so deadly? But looking at Navi's purchase here, Seized can be running the utility for them with the smoke, flash, and grenade, and the rest just going on that Glock train.
That's right, Freiburg with 2 flashes and a defuse kit here as well, not opting for any sort of armor at this stage. So interesting to see how this one goes. No Tech 9s in anyone's hands at this stage, and NiP looking towards mid now. He's asking the question of C's, but he fires right back to take him out with that headshot. And get right forced out of Banana here. Back over towards that B side a little bit now. Just a quick poke, and Freiburg lays a flash.
Yeah, and it looks like NaVi are considering that B site quite substantially. 4 players there looking toward it, but they did pull Alu off of CT Arch, but didn't commit just as of yet. So it's still, you know, in the hands of NaVi to go where they feel. See what they want to do in this one. A lot of time left as well, so no rush here. And it looks as though Forest is starting to go looking through those apartments. You can see him up in the building, trying to maybe get some presence down towards the T side. Zeus not far away. Edward as well. He's going to be coming around. He does have the... What on earth, Forest? He's... Oh! So he misses the sitter and then picks it up onto Zeus. Now backs away. He expects Edward to come through, but he can't deny it. Now 4v3. NiP need to respond, but that bomb still yet to commit.
We still have a split here from NaVi. Some smokes now going to go towards ASCs. Wants to make his way in. Get right there looking in towards Pier. Can he connect these shots here? He does go down to 44 health. Freiburg is also low. Ali's trying to deal out with Seized right now, but there's Guardian Edward getting it done. And Alu all on his own to try and bring this one back. Seized will drop to him. Edward and Guardian are low with no helmets, mind you. Flamey's still healthy and the bomb goes down.
Yeah, Flamey can play this one well, buying the time, and he will close it down. Now NaVi picking up round 1 there, and I like that. They really did run that clock quite low, but they did eventually secure that through. But Forest, I must admit, must be kicking himself. Let's watch this back again, because it really did look like it was on him. I'm not going to lie to you, but he does make it work against Zeus, but in the end did get overrun by Edward. So let's look at what NaVi go with into round 2 here. Known as one of the teams that do kind of at least stay away from the newer kind of style, but NiP going to be forcing fairly well into this. A lot of Deagles, a lot of CZs, and just the P90 and UMP SMG-wise here, but Freiburg's going to have the chance. Doesn't get to use it, so
no.
Seas will take him down. One
of the few players on NiP without a helmet this round, actually, and has let him down. Forest, though, will be able to respond on towards Edward. The bomb has been left back for the moment, and NaVi just to split here, just to see what opportunities they can create. Forest already chunked down a bit after getting that first kill, and there is a flash for Get Right. But Seized has a few nades of his own here. We'll have to see what NaVi want to do with them as they slowly converge towards A here. It's definitely not a... it's more of a walking pace approach, I guess you could say. And Exist and Alu will be hanging on here as well. Exist making a very early exit from the last round to see if he can redeem himself now. As the smoke does below, Exist will be waiting up on that balcony. It's slow movements here from NaVi as well. Not unlike last round, they're happy to use this time. Yeah, and Guardian going to be just spraying away that, checking to see if anyone was waiting by that smoke in the smoke. Zeus holding the push down Banana. And Forest did actually rotate over towards B, so NaVi doing well thus far to keep it in their favour, but oh look, the bomb is slowly heading back down towards B, and with 30 seconds left, I wonder if Forest is going to stay here. It looks as though he is, and now the push will begin. Flash is lined up for him. Oh, Forest didn't spot Zeus. Zeus has got ahead of where he expected, and now Guardian finding Alu might force Forest away, and really nicely done by NaVi. It's down to Get Right now. The bomb is there. He's tucked in by that first box, does have the chance towards Zeus, can't utilise it, and now Exist a long way away, looking for that gun. It hasn't been left there. They have taken it away and hidden it well within the map. And we will be seeing him up against the odds, just trying to find a way out. Or he might just save this. He does have the head armor and CZ. It's a fair investment, I guess, for NiP in this round as well. Not really paying off at all. And it's funny, I think it was Zeus there that was waiting with the P90. Didn't even inch his way in towards that B side until the rest of the team was ready to go. Timing was definitely not Forest's friend there as well, as he did have his back turned. And that's the way the cookie crumbles sometimes here, and NaVi will put their second T round together in moments. Ninja's a little bit slow off the plate. Yeah, but looking at NaVi, they have retained the rifles, which is the important factor. Did lose out on the UMP from Edward, but they hit it and denied it from Exist, and he's desperately looking around. He spots it. It's been placed just up above him, but he has no chance to get up there. And we'll be seeing NiP once again in the same predicament. About 2k between them, a P250 for Forest, but Exist does at least maintain that CZ. But on the other side of things, Edward clearly aware of that. Going to go for the Mac 10, trying to get some money building up for the boys. Maybe get, Guardian an AWP building early if he can maybe do so. But NaVi not taking this lightly. A lot of utility to work with, and the 3 stack coming out towards B. It's going to be, I think, Freiburg peeking out first. He's a little closer here. Zeus working his way up. Bomb once again left down by T-Spawn. Not waiting to commit that just yet. They did boost Exist up there, you can see. So as the push in towards his B side happens, they definitely want to try and catch Zeus unawares now. But again, waiting for the rest of his team, not shoving in there. The Molotov does come down as well. And losing our feed there for a moment. That's a bit unfortunate. We're back into this one. Bomb not being taken as well, by the way, towards B as Guardian. Just looking for an opening, looking for an opportunity in here. And we can see that Freiburg's already taken a fair bit of damage. Yeah, and it's Get Right
And of course, Exist being that linchpin player. If he can maybe get a couple down, this wouldn't be the end of the world for them. Maybe deny some of those rifles into that next round, but let's see, how long do NaVi leave this? They're a team that does infamously take their time. Seized is the one recovering the bomb. We will be getting the proper feedback very, very soon, but that bomb is indeed heading over towards A.
That's right. Still 2 players for NaVi left at B, though. Let's see what they can do. Zeus gets taken down. Exist the boost working out from there as well. Will he poke around for a second as well? The CZ, it's all happening towards A as well. Flamey and Guardian combining nicely. And it's just Alu left now as well. He's in a reasonable spot here to maybe just cause some disruption, but with that P250, he might just back away yet again and just sit this one out.
Yeah, and NaVi once again retaining the 3 rifles, losing out on the UMP and the MAC-10, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Sorry, excuse me, the P90 and the MAC-10. I think Alu maybe just trying to find Guardian, catch someone off guard here, but Guardian being quite cautious about this. He's aware that Alu may be searching for this one, and it looks like Guardian will check this corner, and he will get Alu down. So nothing to be recovered there by NiP, but they do manage to take down 2, so utilizing as much as they could there with the fact Exist was boosted up. And we are going into what is going to be a very important round now. Round 4 coming up. We are going to see Guardian with the AWP as well. He's going to have that one put over towards him. He can drop out his rifle. So NaVi keeping this one close, but you know, NiP, of course, on the other side of things, very little to work with utility-wise. They've got enough of the head armor for the vast majority, but Freiburg and Alu going to be without, and just a couple of smokes and flashes.
That's right. So that's all they have really to work with to stall out NaVi as they try and make their push. And Guardian already looking towards Banana. Here's Get Right, of course. He is set up to receive that push. Only back away a little bit here. I don't know what that was. He's just sitting. Here come the nades in from Seized as well. And again, it is NaVi just probing for the moment here. Just trying to gain some information and make some informed decisions as Guardian aggressively moving up. Smoke comes across the face of him here. He's not going to find anything through the smoke.
I'm looking forward to see if Guardian can try and find an opening here. That's the big part for me. But Get Right is still holding ever so vigilantly. And Seized is working his way up. Guardian's could be the one to be picking up the mantle, and the flash comes out. That's perfect for Get Right. He gets the 1-for-1 trade, but spots out the others. But whether or not Alu's going to rotate is the next thing. Where does that bomb now go? Freiburg, the previous king of Banana, going to try and hold that form. Bomb is in place down the bottom here. But while that happens, Flamey and Edward are trying to search out towards A. And Alu's going to be the one holding towards CT Arch. Edward waiting patiently as Zeus will start working his way around. Alu does get the shot, holding that off angle. Going to try and make the most of it. Ahead of the flash, does take down Edward, but he probably can't make it out. He does! 21 HP here. This is NaVi having to work for this.
That's right. Alu actually not rotating early, going to hang around as Exist gets Zeus from those balcony here. Is Flamey. Wants to push his way in as well. The bomb is loose at the moment, now being picked up here by Caesar. He tries to push him, but Exist is holding beautifully right now, and it's a good cover from Forrest to take down Flamey. And there's the first round coming up for NiP.
Yeah, and it was really well done then. Exist spotted out the player into those apps, told Forrest, hey, you watch this, I'll watch your cross, just instantly setting up that crossfire, and NiP picking up round 1. That initial trade certainly gave them a lot of information. Freiburg able to slow them down, deny that B presence, and then you could see them pushing over towards A. Alu picking up the kill as well. Really nice stuff. And let's see what NaVi do here. Going to be going back in on the rifles. A Galil there for Edward. Smoke going to go down to the close part of Banana rather than the deeper smoke. I'll Get Right to get into position and not be threatened just yet and give a touch of control towards NaVi, but Seized, taking so much damage early on.
Zeus aggressively looking for some heads over that smoke there, and Seized down to just 8 at this stage. Now it's Galil for Edward as well. So NaVi not exactly working in optimal form here, money-wise, at least, as Guardian now looking, again, to make his way through. No success with the AWP in that last round. Was shut down with the cheeky pop flash now as Alu wants to lay a Molotov down. Just a slow Guardian up. His toes are getting a little bit crispy. He stayed long enough in there to take a considerable chunk of health and force him back. Flamey is also working out of boilers, looking for an opening here, but NaVi finding nothing for their troubles so far.
Yeah, and I really like that from Alu. He's playing quite passively, but he's doing it really well. He's fallen back towards Library, going to give them CT Arch control if needed. Of course, Get Right can always jump off if you feel that there may be a wrap coming in, but NaVi are looking maybe now towards apps a little more. Edward's the one once again going searching. Guardian's there, through the smoke. Alu doesn't get the first shot off. Waits it out, flashes. Does catch one. Second flash comes through, spraying, and he gets the tag, not the frag. Get Right has adjusted round, but look where that bomb is. It's on Banana. They might get the kills, but they may not get the round at this rate. But Get Right instantly turns. Freiburg's flashed up, heads trying in towards A little bit of a balcony area covered off, but no, it's NaVi picking up the kills here, and the cross comes in, the smoke goes down. NaVi should have the bomb plant, and NiP are left out in the cold.
That's right, and Get Right left out of the B site for the moment here as everyone just waits for the rotator Forest, and he'll take him down. Only 2 left for NiP here. Both have kits, but it's going to take more than that at this stage to make their way in. There's the Get Right caught behind the truck, and Edward will dispatch of him easily enough. And of course, Get Right trying to rotate quickly around there from CT, not fast enough. And again, Exist all on his own here as well. The time ticks away.
Really good round from NaVi, pulling NiP left, right, and center. Exist should be able to get down seized here. Nice little lineup for him. And Flamey being very cautious on the challenge, and Exist can back away further, retain that rifle and head armor, I can imagine. I doubt they'll catch him at this point. But NaVi do get the round on the board, so picking up a well-needed round there. It looked almost impossible at the start trying to break through towards that CT arch, but once they got a little bit of control there, they executed towards B. Get Right had already fallen back, and it just weakened the site, and Freiburg didn't really have the chance to stop it.
And NaVi's T side on Mirage's, Inferno ESEA has received great accolades in recent times. Maybe not so much in the last sort of few weeks, but this is them as well. Always pushing the envelope as well. They're not content to just sit back if a Molotov or a smoke goes down. They still want to sort of push their luck, and more often than not, it seems to be working out for them at this stage. There is no warp up for Guardian at this stage. It's Edward with the M4, taking off one of the NiP plays here. It just Exists with an AK.
Really good read, though. Exist is in the right place at the right time. He's going to spawn out one, takes a shot, gets it, goes for the fort, can't find it. Zeus goes in on him, but Forest does get the trade, so it's a 2 for 1. Make it 2 for 2 now, but the bomb is slightly committed towards Quad, and Alu is behind Flamey, but Flamey's going to find Forest in the meantime. It's back and forth we go, but this isn't going to be easy for NaVi. Alu's in a good spot here, going to get the flash out, buy some time for Freiburg, but he doesn't expect C's pushing through the apartments, and this should be a clear bomb plant, but Freiburg has got himself close.
He's got to work out from library here as well, especially with C's watching from balcony. It's going to be very, very difficult here. Freiburg looking for a 1v1 at the very least, but C's will be too quick on the trigger there. And NiP had a chance there. Exist saw him with the AK early on, but just the one wasn't quite enough to seal it.
No, certainly not. Good play from NaVi in the end, closing it down, but it got very risky then. NiP reading the game well, placing those 4 players towards the A site, including Exist with the rifle. Freiburg was just soloing towards B with, I think it was just a 5-7 and a smoke. So NiP know what's up, but it's still a 5-1 scoreline thus far. NaVi certainly in control here, and Guardian not opting all that frequently for the ult, but we are going to see that second mid presence. 4 players charging that way, Seized holding on Banana. And once again, NaVi liking to take control on the apps a little early on here, but Forest this time is on the balcony. It's Exist in pit, so switching that one around.
A couple of FAMASs here as well, Alu and Forest. Not exactly the best kitted out that NiP could be. Exist is holding back here from Graveyard as well, looking towards carpets there, and NaVi just slowly again. Not really getting too aggressive.
NiP of 4 players here. They're starting to read this one perfectly, but it doesn't matter. Zeus again getting the better of Exist, but Forest is waiting patiently, tries to pick up the rifle, didn't expect the follow, but now Get Right in the smoke, goes for the challenge, can't find it, and NaVi once again breaking through on towards A, and Freiburg a mile away. Not much to do here.
And NiP, they're losing their advantage in these quick flurries as well. NaVi are able to carve out a 2-man advantage at this point, and there's really nothing NiP can do. If they're playing conservatively like they are now, they're not going to throw even more wood onto the fire. Freiburg just has to back off and just wait this one out, and yet again we've seen, I think, 4 rounds in which NiP just get cut down to the 1 man. He's forced to save up here now, of course, as NaVi are going to have their 6th on the board so far. It's been a very strong T side from them, and NiP just sort of keep getting caught unawares as well. It's NaVi putting the right numbers in the right place, and they're folding to it.
Trading consistently in their favor, and I feel a little for Forest then, because he was in the perfect spot to maybe do some more, but trying to pick up that AK, a little greedy maybe, but not to be the case for him this round. Now Freiburg having a bit of a slow start here, not yet to make any impact on the scoreboard. Actually, tell a lie, 1 assist. But outside of that, a very quiet game. They haven't hit that B site too regularly, but the retakes have been a little disjointed. It's been so far out of time, but looking at the purchase here from NiP, there's not a lot to work with. Last time they did do well though. Exist was able to pick up a couple. And Freiburg taking the early challenge on Banana. That's the difference. Zeus goes down now. But while this happens, NiP infiltrating themselves in towards the apartments, trying to stop NaVi's control.
So you see Alu here as well, just trying to hold on. 3 players for NiP inside these apartments right now. A lot of focus towards there. Can he exist? No, he can't take down Flamey, and Forest is forced to sit back around the corner. Back to balcony. Guardian now picks up one as well. 2 players over at A for NiP. Freiburg moving up on towards the site, and there goes Get Right. B presence has been neutralized, and NaVi have a heck of a lot of options.
Yeah, they certainly do. Whether or not they'll expect Freiburg to be on A this early is a different matter. Seized is certainly taking his time, but I can imagine that bomb will start going towards it once Seized does realize, hey, the site's clear. Freiburg already rotated. Get the hell over there. But the one thing I love from NaVi is they're willing to commit those Molotovs to clear out corners, to clear out those apartments, forcing players out of those little spots they can do damage with, as Edward now just going to hold the back in case Forrest did go hunting, which he is. And Freiburg probably looking to keep hold of that M4, just holding CT.
Again, NaVi having done their due diligence over at that B site and can get the bomb down. Freiburg will hold from CT. Edward's going hunting. And Forrest only has that P250 looking for Edward, but Edward, well, he definitely wasn't expecting an RV player to be coming out of there, and Freiburg again has to sit back on this one as well and save yet again. 2 rounds in a row for him now, and NiP just really struggling to have the resources in the right places where it really counts.
Yeah, the money was certainly a huge factor into that round. Really unable to scrape much together. And even though they did have enough players into those apartments, the Molotovs just forced them out of the angles and made it so much hard work. And only Zeus being dropped out then. So quite the clean round for NaVi, not taking too much damage. And Freiburg will maintain. And we'll be back on the buy. Alu going to go in for the AWP. And we can see Guardian picking up as well. So that little battle will commence. And we'll finally see a little bit more utility with NiP. So hopefully they can start maybe slowing down NaVi at those last couple of seconds, because NaVi do like that late play style. But Guardian with a nice little spawn here. Let's see where he takes it. If he goes for an early challenge maybe towards Banana. Or if he just goes for the mid hold. Let's have a little look-see. Straight out towards mid. Quite aggressive in this one.
Very much so. He's going to be looking for Alu. He doesn't get his opposite number there, and NiP buy themselves a little bit of freedom here as well. Edward being flashed, can't push immediately now as Alu just tucks himself back around the corner. It will be a mid push here as well, and Seas picks up the AWP. He takes down Alu, and Exist isn't able to trade out with Edward.
Exist really fluffing his lines there. That's going to leave Forrest to be the last man standing as NaVi do start to make their presence noted towards Quad, and C's just decimating Forrest. It's going to be the retake once again on the board for Freiburg and Get Right. And he's probably saying, I might just go in for this one. I'm so tired of saving this one goddamn rifle. But still, Edward, 12 HP, a little low, but he's not in the worst position in the world. He's just watching the back, and that's exactly where Get Right is coming from. Freiburg in toward Library as well, and both these players looking to retain the rifles, I can imagine, get a couple of exits. But as every round goes, NaVi stretching the lead here. Gerright's been found by Edward, and now Freiburg does at least get Zeus down. Expecting the follow-up, it's Flamey, and Flamey does connect. So 2 for 2 there for Seized and Edward. Really nicely done for those, but this is a extraordinarily clean T side for NaVi. 8-1 now, and the economy for NiP is looking pretty poor. They've lost out on maximum, what, like 2 players every now and then? 3 at most? It's been a really dominating side.
And that's what we're seeing with NiP being forced to try and save for most of these rounds here. Seized with some stunning entries there over towards that A site, really opened things up, picked up Guardian's AWP and put it to great use. Now the man has it yet again. Alu as well has actually bought that AWP as well. See what happens now as NaVi fan out a little bit more. Maybe some B focus for them here as 3 snake their way up into Banana. You can see Get Right holding that corner with the Mag 7, but there goes a Molotov in towards that corner. Will he be forced down? Looks like he'll stay for the moment. Only tickled by the damage there. He'll be able to hold that spot.
Now, last time NiP have been on shoddy buys, they've generally put 4 players towards A. Not the case this time, as Forrest will make the most of finding Flamey. Now, the jig is certainly up, though. They know that they've got a couple of weapons here, there, and everywhere. Forrest just heard Edward, I think, towards the apps, but Edward's going to have the shot there. Does go for more. Exist will stop the rot. That's the little bit of a win out on the apartments on the A side, but while this happens, it's all about that B side of things. Guardian and Zeus still holding their presence there, but Get Right, stoic in nature, just waiting with that Mag 7. Flash comes through. Zeus takes a face full of that one. And Alu going to find Guardian on the rotate. Seized already making his way through second mid. It's going to be Exist waiting for him.
Exist now will just push through fairly slowly as Alu's still watching mid. Seas was there though somehow. And a 2v3 now as Seas got the bomb. He's going to head in towards apartments. And Zeus will also make his way up here. Alu does see one in mid. He's going to miss the shot. He's going to back right up here as well. We will see a push on towards A. Alu, the only man there.
And he's got to be careful because we know that, oh my god, Seas could already make it out to pit. He almost had the shot then, but didn't expect Seas so quickly through those apartments. And now Freiburg can Get Right in the dire situation again, making it a little closer, but certainly not going to get the cigar in this rate as Freiburg once again looking back in. Going to molly out towards the corner. Seas may have to move very, very soon through the fire and flames into the crosshair. Great work from Freiburg with the double. Going to pick up the AWP. I think he might just have enough time. He should do. 10 seconds on that defuse. It was fairly close though, but that molly really paying dividend at the very last couple of seconds. It is still quite close.
Yeah, we will get the defuse here. I mean, Freiburg, he's had to spend a couple rounds sitting it out, just sitting on that gun and saving it up. But this time he said, you know what, let's go, get right. We're going to go and just grind this one through. Great Molotov here. You can see what it does to Seized as well. After such a great round from him, he had no choice but to face the music there as well. And Freiburg transitioning beautifully on towards Zeus there. NiP, better late than never. They definitely needed that round, and they need a couple more.
After watching their game against Fnatic on Dust 2 before, when they brought it back only after having one round, I get a little scared to call anything. You can see their display pictures still have that NiP magic. So I'm just saying, this is a great T-side from NaVi. And if they can keep any sort of this, I guess, momentum up going into their CT side, this should be a very quick match. But it looks as though NaVi going to be speeding things up a little here, looking for early presence towards B, and Freiburg and Get Right with the crossfire ready and waiting. Smoke goes down. NaVi deciding to push through it, though. That's a dangerous choice. Freiburg just going to go wild right now, and that's the Freiburg we know and love on that B site, as Get Right will close down towards Guardian. And there we have it, NaVi trying to speed things up, and, well, not going too well for them.
Yeah, an attempt for them to sort of vary the pace here, but they may as well have grabbed their guns and thrown them into a trash compactor. That's pretty much exactly what happened. Great hold there towards B, and maybe they'll be scratching their heads thinking, we need to go for something a little bit different than that as well. The rush is just not going to work against a team like NiP.
But the economy's still fairly strong for NaVi after so many rounds back-to-back here. They're well and truly able to go back into those rifles, but Freiburg can Get Right once again, exerting that early presence towards Banana. Get Right still there, but it's Alu, again, toying with the idea of making that peek in mid. Not going to take it, though, as Forrest just ducking under that spray through from second mid.
Alu holding that corner as well. I don't really know where Nav's going to push right now. They do have a lot of smokes in their way at this stage. Bomb still being kept back as Alu as well, just going to try and chime in there with a grenade of his own. And it's Existent Forest also holding at the other side of A. And Navi jockeying back and forth. Poking and prodding, looking for an entry point here as well. And Seized has always delivered. He's over at the B side now, towards Banana, should I say, with Freiburg.
It's a dangerous commitment. Get Right really pulling himself over towards Alu here, but he is slowly working back towards B. So maybe just wanted to show a little bit of presence. And you can see Navi are working their way through Boiler here. That's Edward peeking out. Forrest is the one waiting by quad, but it's going to be Ali with it all to do. One player right in front, and the flash is perfect, but Get Right backing him up. No, Edward takes him down. Alu, you've got to pick up the pieces now, my friend, because Edward is just coming through CT Archers. Forrest now spraying in towards the smoke from that Boiler push. It's looking like Navi once again have got that control of A. Until then, suddenly, NiP wake up.
Freiburg holding Banana now. He's got a 1v1 against Guardian, but the flames will consume him as well as the final shot goes in. And now Forrest and Exist working it down.
They're trying to work fast as well. They know Guardian's the one with the bomb. Forrest is looking for this shot here. Smart work from Guardian to do the smoke behind just to try and buy time. Quick plant for Zeus. And now it's on to retake. NiP working through it.
Flashes and gets through the smoke as well. Dupree style. He'll be able to get down on towards Guardian. Sprays the man up. And now Zeus has to sit back towards CT. Can still watch from here.
They know where it's planted for, but Zeus has the molly. He can buy time.
Zeus now looking. Knows they're going to be posturing around that B side as well. Exist is going to be the first to step up to the plate. He goes down. Zeus looking for the second here as well. It's Forrest just sitting up on that one as well. Can he get this one? I don't think he's defusing. He may well not be, and Zeus will be able to pick him up there as well. Great hold from the man from CT. Great patience as well.
He didn't even have to use that molly then. My God, that was a dangerous play from Zeus, but beautifully done. Initially, Forrest was holding that defuse, then halted. When he peeked out, he might have actually been able to close it down, but still, hindsight is 20/20. I'm surprised NiP even brought it that close in that round after those opening kills towards CT Arch favoured Edward so severely. But 9-3 now. Scoreline still looking very favourable towards any NaVi fan out there. And Ali going to drop out the early nade. Gets a little tag towards Zeus, but nothing incredible as once again the three-man stack towards B here going to be exerted from NiP as they look to get early control and get denied.
Some confidence here from NiP as Freiburg looking to open up some opportunities in Banana, but Seized is keeping himself around the corner there. He did go down to Freiburg in that last round, dropping the ball a little bit after a great start, and Get Right is going to send him packing yet again. Oh, it's back and forth here as Zeus replies, and Get Right needs to just sit back on this one a bit, smoke it up, and stall for time.
Get Right waiting ever so patiently. Can he become the spray down king? Zeus is so close here as well. Forrest is waiting for that pop flash if required. But they are backing away from Banana. The bomb is already down by the bottom of mid. Where is it going to go? 50 seconds left. And NaVi really love running that clock down. You're going to see NiP challenge to be patient here. Zeus gonna make the peak. Gerright's gonna get that one, but while this happens, look where NaVi are heading. It's CTR.
Charlie's got a big hold to hold. He only gets the one as Edward still will be able to push in towards him now. The 3v2 as he sees holds from balcony. There's Gerright getting
bomb.
big work done on the other side of the map.
Bomb down now. Edward's in a real predicament. Forrest looking left, right, and center. I think he just heard him, and he will get the close. So NiP finding a touch of form towards the end, then exerting slight more control towards Banana. But still, this is picking up the scraps here, bearing in mind this is a very strong T side from NaVi. If NiP want to stand a chance, they really have to step up here on that side of things. And Guardian, a little slower to this one, but still, it's Guardian. But look at the buy they can achieve here. It's not perfect. It's a little shoddy. We're going to see the Kraken coming out. All right. I always love seeing that gun, and I think it was JW yesterday who was utilizing it once again on Cobblestone. So, see what shotguns can do. But we are going to see the Tech-9s, and it can always do damage.
And NiP starting to adjust to the more slow roll, pick and split style that NaVi are employing here, even by changing the pace themselves sometimes, getting aggressive in little bursts and actually catching NaVi off guard. And here's Exist. Well, he was hoping to cross swords with Flamey there, but he will be able to back away in towards those apartments here. Smoke towards mid, and Alu holding as normal. NaVi will take their time here. Don't have a great arsenal to work with as well. Only a couple flashes and a smoke. Here they go.
But they're up close. That's the danger now. They can do some damage, and Flamey heading straight on the balcony. It's all on Forrest to spray down and hope for the best. He does get two, but still leaves Edward and Guardian standing. Gerright on the flank. Bomb is stuck in by Pip, but Edward tapping away towards Alu. It's down to a 2v2, but will they predict Gerright?
Edward smoking for mid, and Gerright will be slowly, ever so slowly making his way through apartments here. Now Edward sitting in pit, and Freiberg is off towards the other side as well here. And they're waiting for any sort of sign of that bomb, making its movement towards that site. Edward, eyes are set on balcony as Guardian lurks in the distance as well. He's the man with the bomb, but being so low, he has to be careful. He'll send Guardian here. This is brilliant. He's going to get the jump on Gerright. Should be able to dispatch him quite quickly, and then they can make the move. But Gerright will be ready for it there, and Guardian is taken down.
The game sense is unreal, and Edward gets locked out by Freiberg. I don't know how Gerright does it, but him checking just in that time, maybe going, why aren't they planting? We're not showing. Maybe they're checking for us, but my God, that was a beautiful display. But still, 5-9 now. NaVi slowing down the pace a little. They're not picking up these rounds back to back, and this is an important one. They're going to have to go for this kind of shoddy buy, I guess, kind of here, there, and everywhere. A Galil, 2 rifles, though, but then the Tech-9 and the Deagle for Guardian coming out up against a very, well, let's say, well-flushed NiP. Looking good in this one. Early flash going to come out, and it looks like NaVi want to speed up the pace again.
The NiP, though, will be looking towards mid, and that's Exist as well. Makes his poke. The flash always seems to be there to scuttle his plans, though. The bomb held towards mid here as well. Slow movements here from NaVi again. They'll look for the picks. NiP need to avoid these early rotations as well. They just got to hold, keep their nerve here as well, as NaVi wants to mount their push. There's Freiberg, sees his mate Gerright go down. He's going to try and flash out and deal with these. He does get the 1v1 here, but look, Zeus will be pushing around as well. He's trying to hold on, trying to stall for some sort of time, and he won't get the better of Zeus with a Tech-9 pushing straight towards him. And B sort of starting to open up a bit now. Smoke down, but Alu pushing on.
The bomb is not here. That's the important one. Guardian still has that to hand, so Alu, with all the will and want in the world, he's in the wrong place at the wrong time, and Guardian's going to find Exist. It's down to Forrest. Edward's going to find him. And now 3v1. Once again, Alu left in a real predicament. It's normally Freiberg here, but this time around, NaVi just pulling NiP player after player towards that B site, and Guardian is going to be the man left standing in the end. Is Flamey to close down Alu, and wow, that was quite the ending to that half.
3 pistols for NaVi in that one as well, and they managed to break down, as you said, the very well flushed, well armored force of NiP there. Just beautiful stuff, and that Deagle on the entry as well towards that corner was stunning work. And NiP now must put their heads together. So at 10 and 5 at half-time here as well. They managed to pick up a few rounds on the backside, but it's another beautiful NaVi T-side here on Inferno. And one has to wonder what NiP themselves can put together as they aggress on that T-side.
Oh, it is the big thing, isn't it? Of course, we are just going to wait on Gerright to rejoin us while we wait on the warm-up. But individually speaking, it was quite a quiet game for Guardian. He wasn't being the one-man band that we do occasionally see, but then again, we know that the T-side AWPing is always extraordinarily difficult on this one. And to be fair, Alu had shown him down a good couple of times. Guardian
had the same issues last week as well on this map. He was definitely notably not towards the top of the scoreboard in that match up against Dignitas here as well. And there are a few times where he's been trying to just, take the advantage and be proactive. And he flashed himself down mid, tried to go the 1v1 versus Alu, was shut down. Things like that have got to be frustrating as well. But in the first 4 rounds, Guardian was having plenty of success with a rifle in his hand as well. He's 7 and 2 after those ones as well. So, maybe it wouldn't be so bad for him to sit back on that one here as well, as we do wait to ready up for a second half This first match of the day. I tell you what, if this is what NiP and NaVi are giving us now, I'm looking forward towards the rest of this map, and of course Overpass, which will feature these two teams going at it yet again.
Yeah, and looking just at the overall stats from NiP on their T side, specifically on this map, straight down the middle, 50% win rate on their T half, 7 out of 14 times in the last good couple of games. So they do have power here. It's not something we're disputing because we know Alu's been able to perform very, very well on it. So I'm looking towards seeing what he can do. And I'm curious to see how NiP come about this, because we know that Get Right's lurking used to be formidable on this map. Whether or not he's taken that sort of stance is another matter, and it was a discussion point not too long ago, is the kind of entry fragging style that came with NiP was never that favourable towards Freiburg. He did kind of get left to his own devices a good couple of times towards working up towards B, but then they started backing him up more, then they started committing more, and I'm interested to see if they do a little bit of that coming into this, but we can't discredit NiP here. They certainly did bring back a good couple of rounds after being down quite substantially. So they're certainly not out of the running here, but you've got to say NaVi did look very, very good. Some
very cheeky peaks coming out from NaVi as well that were sort of yielding dividends for them as well, especially making their entries up towards A via mid. We're seeing it happen with Deagles. We're seeing it happen with whatever you want. They're just managing somehow to overcome financial disadvantages here as well towards Ninjas and Pajamas purely by their play style. It's funny, they're sitting back on it, they're not aggressing, they're not rushing, and they're always making NiP second guess themselves. Do I need to rotate early? Should I be watching my back? Do we have the wrong read on NaVi right now? Put that thought in their head, and all of a sudden, they can get real shaky.
Yeah, it does seem as though Get Right was back with us for a second, but he was merely teasing. He has left the game again. But we do hope that Get Right returns. We miss him dearly. But still, seems like he is back with us. So we could actually start this one up. Let's see if they go on the restart again, but everyone in. It looks like we are ready to get this one side up. So ladies and gents, let's get ready for the second half here. NaVi now on the CT side, NiP facing that T side struggle. And let's see how they do going into this one. They are currently sat at that 5 rounds. They need more, and this pistol would be the perfect beginning.
Well, this is where they need to start things, if ever. And Edward there, well, not like Existor, who was very unlucky to get picked on that cross in the first round. He is able to make his way through, but here's NiP working towards Banana. It sees on that B side, of course. Guardian will be making his way across there as well. This entry could be hectic right now. Seas will be holding in first now. Here comes the push. Exists is the first man out of the gates. He's going to avoid most of the shots coming in towards him. The Flamey and Guardian combining beautifully. They're taking the wind out of NiP's sails. Can they regain it? Seas can't really connect right now, and Exist and Alu make it even. It's going to be back and forth. Seas by the hand of Exist, but there's Get Right getting involved, and it's a 2v2.
Zeus has come over pretty darn quickly though, but there we have it. Alu goes down to him, and now it's all on Get Right. 1v2. Zeus and Edward watching his escape. He does take down one. That's Zeus gone, but Edward drills him in. And that'll be NaVi picking up round 1. But let's throw our minds back then to the start of that round. It was Guardian who came over to support them on B so early on. So already NiP were against the odds. They didn't have that clean kind of 4v2 situation having to break in. That early flash didn't catch the 2 players. One sitting by new box, one at the first box. It was only Guardian who did get flashed up. So looking at this though, NiP going to be forcing in with the Tech 9s, P250s. There's 2 smokes, 3, excuse me, and 2 flashes. So looking to do something here, but NaVi already going to gain some control down on Banana. Early nades as Edward peers down towards second mid and gets a touch of information.
It's a 3 split towards A here as Guardian will be watching just from around the corner as Ali tries to jump out to get the better of him here. It's going to be a bit of back and forth from us. Not quite finding the shots, but 3 health for the man now. Flamey will be able to come through as a second way to clean up Exist. There's Edward holding beautifully from pin. There's one, there's a second, but Alu will take him out. It's all back and forth as Alu again gets his second, but Flamey is there to pick up the pieces. Great work from that man with 3 for the round. And NaVi hold NiP at bay, and this is a disaster start for them to the second half.
Far from ideal. Absolutely dire if you were hoping they could do something with this one, but you not bad from Alu picking up 2 then. He did what he could and just wasn't enough, sadly. Edward being the kind of last bastion for NaVi, waiting out in pit, just doing everything for them, denying all of those players through the apartment. So I'm curious to see if they go for that double nade down Banana again. It's so painful, and they are going to go for the nades here. Forrest receiving a lot of that damage. It's going to be Guardian to take put him out of his misery more than anything. And look at Edward just willing to challenge. NaVi closing in on the net here. And for NiP, I doubt they'll get much out of this one. Get Right last man alive. It's a clean round for NaVi. Just going to build that economy even stronger here and put NiP against the rails.
And C's there as well with a couple more kills with the SMG. So he's making bank, and that's actually enabled him to buy the AWP for Guardian, pass it over to the man now. And NiP just struggling here, really not really to make anything of that sort of round. It was a clean anti-eco from NaVi, though. It's safe to say that. They have gone for the AKs here as well. This is NiP, honestly, their final stand in this one. They must win this round.
Yeah, and Cease sticking on the SMG work as well. All right, let's see what you got, Cease. He might just kind of sit it out by Nubox and wait for the plant if required, but it does mean as though Guardian's going to be the man to pick up the mantle on Banana. Look how aggressive he's going. He gets the tag towards Freiburg, gets a follow-up towards Exist. That's huge play, but Flamey does fall to Exist's hands. But NiP is still held down here by the bottom of mid. This is going to be a tough round as NaVi once again shutting down all avenues of attack.
Freiburg is very, very low right now as well. And look at this aggressive positioning. Seized up on top of that car as well. Looking for Get Right as well. It's a strange stack that NiP tried to put together, and Guardian was still too good for it there, even managing to nab one and getting away. NiP towards mid though as well. You can see Get Right will be following up on Alu. Get Right with the bomb in hand now, Zeus. We'll definitely be expecting something like this as well, and NiP must gather their wits, they must gather themselves and make this push now, but here comes Zeus, he's the one pushing, he's looking for Alu, he's going to catch it with his pants down as well, and Get Right responds into that one, trades it up, but it's still 3 players up for NaVi, and they're definitely looking towards a 2 in weight.
But Edward's flashes were perfect, setting up his teammate then, but can he hold them back any further? He's going to catch Get Right. The molly comes in, going to force Edward to take the challenge here, spots out Freiburg, calls for backup, and it's Guardian on the way. And now this should be the close down. Freiburg shouldn't be able to get a chance, and he doesn't. It's Edward coming up with the goods, and another shutdown from NaVi. And that's going to put them on a, well, almost the match point here, 14-5. Look at this play from Guardian. I absolutely love it. It's just perfect adjustment, expects the push-up. Gets the tag and the frag there. Really well done. And now NiP's economy, pretty damn dire, but they've got to go for something. And it looks like they force up with those Tech 9s, a smoke and a flash.
They all have armor and a helmet as well, so it's just going to be NiP just trying to get that train and take it all the way to the station.
NaVi are going wild. Look at this flame. He's straight down there. He knows it as well. He can sit in this position perfectly. But while this happens, NiP tried to make it on B.
Stunning hold there in B though as well. Already Forrest was the last man standing. That was a gambit from NiP investing in that one, and they get nowhere.
15-5. One more round, arguably. NiP needs to turn up right now. Otherwise, this scoreline is going to be halted where it is. And sadly, their T side won't be tested out. As we're so excited, we are squeaking in our chairs, apparently. But still, Garai actually going to pick up the orb here. Hello. All right, he's got the front spawn, so I guess why not? But then Guardian has it all. Is he going to go for the challenge? Where's Garai taking this one? Just going to be watching out towards CT's, the quad side here. Guardian's going to be going for the challenge as well. But look at this, the 3-stack down Banana. This is a great opportunity for Get Right. Zeus right there as well. Not going to find much, though. And already, Forrest and Exist working through the apps.
That's it, see Get Right. Still trying to make that AWP work right now. Hasn't connected too much at all now as Edward can sit back as well. This is what they do. NaVi will wait for NiP to push through in Forrest. Well, he's looking for an opportunity out from Boiler, but Guardian will be waiting for him. He actually loses the challenge in Forrest. Now there's an opening in. Get Right isn't far behind him as well, and Exist will be working through carpets as well. Let's see what they can create as Edward tries to hold down Flaming Zeus doing well. Get Right getting on with the AWP, but then Zeus dropping as well.
What on earth was that? How did he find Zeus then? This man has made the difference. He doesn't have armor. He's running glass cannon, but big stuff from him already. Alu waiting for the crossover from B. Cease is going to be the man running the gauntlet, and Get Right waiting ever so patiently. That's 3 for him. And Flamey, last man alive. That bomb should go down. And this should be NiP, at least for now, keeping the Wolves at bay.
A glint of NiP magic. I don't know if it'll really be enough, though, at this stage. They need a few more than this, of course, as Flamey will just set up shop in mid here and wait this one out. NiP, well, I mean, that would be their first round for this half, so definitely not a moment too soon here as well. Just taking the wind out of Navi's sails as they approach the finish there, and you saw Navi can be aggressive at some points there as well, and Get Right, beautiful work with that all.
Now let's just remind ourselves as well, prior to this 3K that he's got, he would only have had 3 kills. Of course, coming on the reconnect, so doing well after that, but a little bit quiet overall from him, as we do see that round being closed down by NiP, so it will be coming in as 6-15. Now let's see what NaVi can do. By now, their economy is certainly well built. They can indeed go for that repurchase, so they're not going to be too worried here, but can NiP do it now once again? Garai going to drop the AWP over towards Alu, it seems. And this is going to be another tough round for these boys. It's never easy for them. And it looks like NaVi are ready and waiting.
Alu hoping he can one-up his teammate there after that last round. And Guardian, of course, will be able to secure himself the AWP. That's really what NiP can do now as well. That one worked out, a little bit something special, but is that really repeatable We'll have to wait and see now as Guardian and Zeus will be looking towards mid, and there's Guardian, a beautiful flick towards Alu, and there's an orb out of his hands already. And the rest of NiP now having to scratch their heads and think about their next move, and Guardian always, look at him, chomping at the bit, he's always so far forward now, looking for a poke towards mid. As that Molotov does expire, we'll smoke it up though. This might force Forrest through, and he picks him up as well. One hand the grenade, the other one the orb, the man getting it done.
Sexy CS coming out there from Guardian. What an impact play in this, just denying all presence towards A exist. Maybe fancying his chances here. He's working it out from Boiler, but Guardian, is he going back for more? He's actually going hunting here as well. He's slowly working his way down, but Exist has snuck through. But while this happens, the bomb was on B. Freiburg recovering that. Exist is edging a little further forward, but 3 players now are waiting on that B site. Zeus, Seized, and Flamey. And if they can just hold on long enough so Exist can do some work here, but that's not the case. It's Zeus taking the advantage, going for the play, denying Freiburg and Gerai, leaving Exist in a dire situation.
And NiP pulling the trigger a little bit early on towards B, and Exist has got a heck of a lot to do. He does get the double, and some hope maybe for NiP, but it is quickly snuffed out. And NaVi take that first map, of course, for them between them in the night. 16-5. Wasn't exactly a close one, Lauren.
No, it wasn't. And you saw glimmers of hope there, didn't you? It was every now and then from NiP. You're thinking, God, you know, they were getting a little close in that. But the T side from NaVi was formidable. To be able to get onto that sort of marker so early on was more than impressive. I think that's the thing we're going to be seeing maybe coming into Overpass, which of course is the next map between these two. We said at the beginning of the night, statistically speaking, you know, this was the opportunity for NiP. The second map was going to be the uphill struggle.
That's it. So to correct myself, 16-6, as it were, of course, was the final score. And yeah, Overpass is definitely going to be an interesting, a lot of mystery about it when it comes to NiP and that map. We have not seen much from them at all in recent times. And honestly, after their performance here on Inferno, which ostensibly is actually not a terrible map at all for NiP, especially after the way they played it last week, there are definitely some concerns, and I would be concerned if I was them as well moving into this next one. Just general form-wise, because with only one round in that second half, getting completely shut down on both sides of the map.
Now, well, let's remember though, for NaVi, this does mean if they pick up both wins here, that could get them up into 3rd place in the Pro League. So something they'll be certainly aiming towards. But while the teams take a quick second to discuss things over coming in towards their second game of the evening, let's take a quick break so you guys at home can grab a little bit of a drink.
Hello everyone and welcome to the Intel Extreme Masters. Delta Time's debating that he gets it. Oh, it's beautiful. Exist. 2 kills could never be so important. Gonna go for it behind the fountain. Kerrigan's gonna charge him down. He's gonna miss quite a few pistol shots. Kenny F, he won a kill, and then he gets the second. Kenny F punches the round.